What's going on, everybody? With the bye week officially here, I just wanted to share some of my thoughts on this Bears Jaguars game. After just watching the All 22, got a chance to watch a TV copy on the plane ride back from London to Chicago, and there was just so much to like from this game. And I figured, why not share some of the thoughts here with the Bears on their bye week? Don't have to right now preview this Bears Commanders game, which just got a little bit more interesting now that it got flexed to the mid-afternoon time slot. But I just want to, again, let's start with the offense, because I think that's the most natural place to start, especially after the day that Caleb Williams had. The one thing that really stood out after watching the All 22 was just the amount of motion that Shane Waldron was dialing up on some of these plays. Through the first 5 weeks, they weren't a team that utilized motion all that much, but I think it was more apparent in this victory over the Jaguars that was going to be an emphasis. And I think Caleb Williams in his post-game press conference said, or he was talking about the linebackers and overall just the Jaguars defense. They're a fast flow defense. So utilizing that motion, I think, was just a great idea for Shane Waldron and Caleb Williams to get some of these Jaguars defenders maybe overreaching to one side, and then you can go back the other way. I just think of one of the bigger runs that DeAndre Swift had on the day, where it's a simple motion going from right to left. And what that allowed DeAndre Swift to do was just cut back. The run was originally supposed to go left, outside zone, but he cuts it back to the right side. And it helps that they had the motion in the beginning to have some of the linebackers shift that way and you can cut back to the right. So it's things like that. On the touchdown to Cole Kmet, the first one, you see the motion, the orbit motion with Keenan Allen, and then the fake screen left, fake screen right to Swift, and then boom, you hit Cole Kmet wide open in the middle of the field. So I really just liked the way that Shane Waldron was dialing that up and utilizing it to the offense's advantage. Like I said, whether it was getting Jaguars defenders out of position or even being an identifier for Caleb Williams to see pre-snap what the Jaguars defense was in, all the benefits of utilizing motion. I think that's going to be something that we see more of from Shane Waldron in the last, games this season, as opposed to what was happening in the first 5 weeks. So it was good to see that offensively. It was really good to see, too, Keenan Allen just pop off and, just do Keenan Allen things, running routes that, he has been known for his entire career. And there was a couple of third down throws where he's running in the middle of the field and Caleb Williams just dotting him just on these in-breaking routes. Like, you love to see that. And then with the fade route that was his second touchdown. I mean, that was originally a run play that can be checked to a fade. So good on Caleb Williams to identify that matchup outside. Good for Keenan Allen to run the route that he did. And then the ball placement, perfect. And late hands by Keenan Allen, too, to get both feet in bounds. It was a perfectly executed play, and that's something that you can have in this offense when you have guys like Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, all these guys that provide mismatches. So great to see that, and obviously the back shoulder in the middle of the end zone touchdown was, again, on all accounts, just a perfect play. Perfect ball placement from Caleb, perfect route from Keenan Allen, and even pretty good defense. But when your the defender's back is to the quarterback, that's an NFL throw. And that was great to see from Caleb and the offense. So I really just liked Shane Waldron, how he's utilizing his playmakers, getting them in space. Roschon, I think someone that gets overlooked a little bit when we're talking about this game is the third down conversions that Roschon Johnson had in this game, where has great contact balance on a third down reception, is able to pick up, the necessary yards to get a first down, or even when Caleb has pressure on his left side and kind of almost like a hook shot kind of pass to Roschon Johnson, and then he's able to just stop the ball with his right hand, I believe, and then go get the first down. Like, those are key moments in those games that allow drives to continue, and you just love to see that. Rome Odunze had some nice routes in the middle of the field, and it's just really encouraging to see that the Bears are calling those types of plays, slants in the middle of the field, and then executing on it. Love to see it. And even if it's okay, the Jaguars defense, the Carolina Panthers defense, you still got to go out there and execute and put your guys in positions to make plays against the defense that they're calling. So I don't we'll see how it all looks, especially later on in the season, week 11, when division play starts. But I don't see that as a knock on the Bears offense that they went out and executed and put up 30 plus points in back to back weeks. That's not a knock on the Bears for doing that against a bad defense. It's just that's almost what you expect. If it's a bad defense and you have capable playmakers and the play caller has more confidence, is utilizing just better play concepts and motions, then that should be the result. So just a really encouraging day offensively. And look, the offensive line did some good things too. I thought just overall better in pass protection. There were a couple plays where earlier on in the season, if defenders ran stunts or twists, the Bears offensive line wasn't picking it up. And this one, you saw them do that. You saw Coleman Shelton, these guys get to second level. And it's a good confidence builder against that type of defensive line. And Shane Waldron, before that game was played on Sunday, said that was the strength of their defense. Well, that offensive line, the offense, I think for the most part, took care of that pass rush. Yes, Caleb Williams was sacked a couple times, but I think overall you're really encouraged what they did offensively and how that can be just a momentum building game going into the bye week and then obviously into Washington for that mid-afternoon game against Jaden Daniels and that offense, who have been doing some good things. But offensively, it really encouraging, lots of different aspects. They just need to see if they can continue doing that. And obviously they stayed healthy throughout that game on offense, which is encouraging, and then see how they can improve upon that moving forward. Defensively, when you're seeing Kyler Gordon just being sent, run blitzes, just going after Trevor Lawrence, like I love seeing that for Kyler Gordon. And hopefully he's all good with his hamstring injury. I know they're doing some imaging. That's what Matt Eberflus said on Monday. But I don't know, just seeing him post-game locker room, he went to hamstring. Obviously, you're not going to be in any type of brace or anything like that, but seemed to be walking fine, seemed to be in high spirits. So hopefully the imaging comes back positive for Kyler Gordon. But I love the aggressiveness from Matt Eberflus, just sending your nickel corner like that. I know Kyler would like to have, I think it was, I don't remember if it was a third down or second down play, but he comes off the offense's right side, does a little spin move, and as he's spinning, Trevor Lawrence is right there. He can't quite bring him down. He's able to extend the play, but again, Kyler Gordon was all over the field. He made a nice shoestring tackle on Evan Ingram on a third down play that forced the Jaguars to punt. So really just a versatile weapon that Matt Eberflus has at his disposal. And also TJ Edwards was sent on a couple blitzes in that game as well. I think the first sack that the Bears got, TJ Edwards was sent on a blitz that forced Trevor Lawrence to move up because TJ jumped up in the air. And then I think it was Montez Sweat and somebody else who were able to sandwich Trevor Lawrence for a sack. So I love seeing that aggressiveness as well. Send the linebackers. They're athletic guys. And when you do that as a defensive play caller, I think as the offense, you have to think who is actually bringing pressure on this play. And the Bears are not going to be a very heavy blitz team ever. That's just not their forte. But we have seen a little bit more of it from Matt Eberflus this season. And you saw, again, sprinkles of it in that dominant victory over the Jaguars. I do think still the run defense has, it's had like its up and down moments like it has all season. But for the most part, defensively, you got to be happy with what the performance that the defense put out there, being down, two players in your secondary to start and then losing Kyler Gordon. Never an easy task, but, you have Elijah Hicks breaking up a pass in the end zone. And it helps that Gabe Davis couldn't catch on the first attempt. Then you have Josh Blackwell getting an interception, Elijah Hicks recovering a fumble that TJ Edwards forced. So those things obviously are encouraging when your backup players are able to do that. And Eberflus said earlier, what I think it was Friday, you need to have a pair and a spare at every position. And, the Bears are showing that they have the depth that whenever guys do go down, you can put these players that maybe haven't had as much playing time over the years, but know the defense, know what they're being asked to do, and can execute when needed. So that was encouraging to see from the defense and from those guys specifically. Obviously, the Jaguars did have some opportunities when you drop what, 4 touchdowns? When I was watching that game just from the press box, which is amazing, by the way. It's open press box. You're right at the 100 level, and you see these passes that Trevor Lawrence is throwing to his receivers just bounce off their hands or hit their chest and fall to the ground. The Bears are fortunate that the Jaguars receivers struggle in that aspect, but again, you gotta make the play, and clearly the Jaguars receivers were not up to that task, and it obviously benefited the Bears defense. But it was just a really, going into that game, how it started, 2 straight punts by the Bears defense. They give up a field goal on the first defensive possession for the Bears, and you're thinking, man, is this game gonna end up like all those other Bears games that we've seen in the past? And obviously that wasn't the case, because Caleb Williams and the offense came to play. The one real big blemish was the interception that Caleb threw. He knows the one-man route where you bring in the jumbo package, and he knows, just got to put that ball out in front and release it quicker, and that's not an interception, it's a touchdown to DJ Moore. So when you can look back at the tape and be like, that's our biggest mistake, that's really encouraging if you are the Bears offense defensively, knowing that you're going to hopefully get some of those starters back, which should only make things even tougher for opposing offenses to throw against this Bears defense. So a lot to like. Really good going into the bye week on a 3-game winning streak. And you needed that win, because the NFC North right now, it's going to be a gauntlet. And starting week 8 with their first divisional play, week 8, week 11, first game in the division, it's going to be a bloodbath, and it's going to be something that's I think going to be fun to watch later on in the year. And that's when I was expecting this Bears offense to really be in a good place, and you knew early on there was going to be some struggles, but they seem to have found a rhythm. Whether they're going no huddle or, again, just the play concepts and the play designs are helping out Caleb Williams. Blocking's been better. Wide receivers are making plays. Keenan Allen is now, showed up and showed what he can do on the football field. There's a lot of good things happening for this Bears team, and I just wanted to share some of those thoughts with you as we're in the bye week and, going to watch every other team play this upcoming weekend. But fun game, really fun trip to be in London with, everybody from CHGO Bears, but also meeting all the awesome Bears fans over there. Maybe whenever that next international game is for the Bears, we'll be there. So if you missed out on this one, you're going to have to go to the next one because of how fun it was for everybody that was a part of it, all the events that we had, and there was a lot of drinking, a lot of staying up at night. It was a really great time. So definitely have to take advantage of that. You can also take advantage of going to Arizona in a couple of weeks in November. If you want to go see the Bears beat up on the Arizona Cardinals, you can have that opportunity to do that. True Fan Travel's been awesome, and it'll be awesome for that Arizona Cardinals game later on in the year as well. But yeah, just wanted to share some thoughts. Hopefully everybody enjoys the rest of the week, and of course we'll have some CHGO Bears content for the rest of the week as the Bears are on their bye.